Okay, I think we're ready to go. Thank you everybody for joining us for today's webinar. Everyone's turning on Dynamics GP. Here's what you can do about it. So good morning to everyone, or good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. So today's webinar is presented by Calsoft Systems, a 3-time Microsoft award-winning partner with over 25 years experience in the Dynamics ERP ecosystem. My name is Kylan Schroeder, and I will be your MC for today's webinar. Before I introduce our speakers, I want to quickly address a few things. Today's webinar is being recorded, so we will be able to share the link with you after the event is complete. We welcome you to revisit this content yourself or to share it with colleagues who can't attend today. We also invite your comments or questions. Please take a moment to look at the Q&A chat box, which should be at the bottom of your screen. And if you have a question for the speakers at any point, please type it in there and I will pose it to our speakers at the Q&A portion at the end of the event today. We'll get to as many as we can. And finally, once our session concludes, you will be prompted to complete a short survey based on your experience, because we would love to hear feedback and continue to give you the best service possible. Without further ado, I'd like to provide a quick introduction to today's speakers, Andrew Rausch and Jun Kim. Andrew is a dynamic member of Calsoft's sales team, and he's committed to building long-lasting client relationships as an account manager. From experience working with Dynamics GP, Nav, and Dynamics 365 users, he is no stranger to understanding clients' unique needs and also delivering tailored solutions on time and on budget. Jun Kim has over 10 years of experience under her belt and is joining us as a senior consultant from our ERP team, with experience leading implementations as a project manager and providing post-implementation support for Dynamics GP, Nav, and Dynamics 365 Business Central. Jun is a great asset to our technical team. Now I'm going to transition over to Andrew so we can begin today's presentation. Andrew, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kylan. If you could advance to the agenda slide, that would be perfect. And thank you everyone for your time today, of course. As far as our agenda goes, I'd like to start us off with a brief introduction to Calsoft Systems for those of you who are potentially joining us for the very first time. Then we'll cover the current state of Dynamics GP and provide you with 3 available options for your business. Finally, as Kylan did mention, we will cover any questions that you have at the end of today's session, so please submit them at any time through the Q&A chat box. That being said, let's jump right into our company introduction. Calsoft Systems is a Microsoft Gold certified partner that has been assisting Elevate businesses through IT solutions for over 25 years. Thanks to the expertise of our robust technical team, we're very proud to be positioned within the top 5% of Dynamics ERP partners worldwide, and we've served over 1,500 customers between our 8 global offices. As Kylan briefly mentioned, we are honored to have been selected by Microsoft as a 3-time award recipient for their US Partner of the Year award. As you can see, we've received these awards not only in the category of Dynamics 365 ERP, but also through providing world-class advisory services to our customers. By building long-term partnerships with these customers, we've had the pleasure of working within a variety of industries. This includes manufacturers, distributors, service companies, and really many more. Roughly 40% of our customer base are currently using Dynamics GP, and we've noticed some industry trends that are causing frustration for these businesses. This brings us to our second topic for today, which is the current state of Dynamics GP. As many of you are aware, Dynamics GP is a tried and true ERP platform that's grown to become a giant in the industry over the last few decades. In fact, Calsoft used GP internally for many years to manage our own operations. Although GP is a powerful and proven platform, it seems as if Microsoft's vision of the future is more focused around its modern, cloud-based solutions such as Dynamics 365. So, here's a quick look at Microsoft's vision for Dynamics GP. As you can see, mainstream support, which includes new releases, updates, service packs, build fixes, and patches, has already ended for most legacy versions of Dynamics GP. Once mainstream support ends, Microsoft will no longer provide enhancements to Dynamics GP, although security-related updates will still be available, but only if you maintain a Microsoft support plan, which does come at additional cost. In our experience, roughly 90% or so of GP users don't sign up for this extended support, primarily due to that high additional cost that I mentioned. As you see at the bottom of this diagram, all versions of GP released after 2018 R2 are now just referred to as Dynamics GP and follow what Microsoft calls a modern lifecycle policy. Through this policy, GP customers can stay current on their software by taking at least one of the 3 all-inclusive GP updates that are typically released in June, October, and December of each year. These updates include hotfixes, tax updates, as well as other regulatory updates. So in order to stay current on GP moving forward, customers must perform the lengthy and sometimes costly process of updating every single year. As we discuss our options today, I want to quickly state that the most dangerous option that your business can take would be to simply do nothing. Not upgrading GP leaves your system vulnerable to risks as you do not receive any updates or patches from Microsoft. So, in summary, Microsoft is willing to support GP for the foreseeable future. As of now, they're not explicitly stating that GP is being discontinued or unsupported. But it is clear that Microsoft is shifting its focus away from enhancing Dynamics GP and instead nudging customers in the direction of a more modern platform, such as Dynamics 365. And to add to that frustration, it's not just Microsoft that's shifting its focus towards modern cloud-based software. Just recently, we've started seeing third-party vendors in the marketplace drop support for GP as well. This obvious shift of focus surrounding Dynamics GP has left some customers looking for options to future-proof their businesses. With our experience and understanding of the Microsoft ERP ecosystem, we'd like to present you with 3 options that are available to your business moving forward. Ultimately, our goal is to provide you with these options, and of course, there are pros and cons, so that you're able to make an informed business decision for your organization moving forward. Option 1, of course, is to continue using GP for the foreseeable future. For most businesses, GP is still providing a stable platform to manage operations, and they'd ideally like to keep it that way. Even though Microsoft halted new feature development for GP last year, that doesn't necessarily mean that GP is now obsolete. As I mentioned previously, Calsoft has extensive experience implementing and providing support for GP, and we're going to continue to do so for as long as we possibly can. We understand that some users want to stay on GP for a bit longer, and that's perfectly fine. Of course, this option does come with some inherent downsides, though. As we touched on, GP customers will need to invest a substantial amount of money into maintenance and updates in order to stay current on GP's modern lifecycle. This includes not only the modern lifecycle's mandatory annual update, but also the annual enhancement plan, which can be costly on its own, especially when you consider that Microsoft has incrementally been increasing the percentage that this annual enhancement is calculated with. Lastly, current or not, we're still seeing large vendors in the marketplace move away from supporting GP. So if you're currently using any third-party tools within GP today, there's no telling how long support for those tools will remain available. This uncertainty between rising costs and integration availability has ultimately led some customers to ask, should I stay or should I go? Which brings us to our second option. As you might have expected, the second option that I'd like to share with you is migrating to Dynamics 365. Released in 2018, Dynamics 365 Business Central is commonly considered to be the logical next step for businesses that are looking to upgrade from GP and move to a more modern cloud-hosted ERP. Built on top of the framework of Dynamics NAV or NAV, which is another one of Microsoft's tried and true on-premise ERPs, Business Central introduces a modern, streamlined platform for businesses that are looking to take that next step while leveraging the power of cloud hosting. To assist your business in migrating to BC, I want to introduce you to what we call CloudShift. CloudShift is a migration package developed by Calsoft Systems specifically built for businesses that are looking to migrate from GP to Business Central. While implementing Business Central, we follow Microsoft's recommended framework, which is titled Success by Design. This process starts by analyzing your current operations within Dynamics GP, then mapping your workflow requirements to BC, Next, we configure the BC cloud environments, import your master data and historical data using Microsoft's migration template. And finally, we bring your users up to speed with world-class user training and materials. Hosted in the cloud, BC offers many powerful out-of-box benefits when compared to GP. To list just a few, BC's cloud environment offers increased security, modern integration with an extensive list of supported applications such as Office 365, and finally, the ability to be accessed on almost any device with an internet connection. Personally, I could go on and on about the benefits of cloud hosting within BC, but instead what I'd like to do today is provide you with a quick view into the application itself. For that, I'd like to hand the mic over to my colleague and senior ERP consultant here at Calsoft, June Kim, who will be providing us with a brief Business Central demonstration. June, whenever you're ready, feel free to take it away.
Sure, thanks, Andrew. Hello, everyone. My name is June Kim. I'm a senior ERP consultant at Calsoft Systems. During today's demo, I will be highlighting mainly user interface of Business Central in comparison to GP such as homepage, system navigation, and some of the search functions. Okay, so I'm gonna start my screen share. All right. Okay. So I would like to show you, I know this looks familiar to you, some of the screenshots from GP. One is the homepage that I would be focusing on during the demo, and also some of the master data, the customer, and also the lookup, which is the search function in GP. So let's start with the homepage. The screen that I'm currently showing is this homepage of Business Central. Business Central offers role-based homepage, which user can choose from the default set of roles. I will show you quickly what is the option of the roles. So there are multiple various roles that are prepared from out of the box. And I'm currently on sales order processor. Okay. So the role-based homepage is it sounds similar to GP. GP also has the role-based homepage. The users can choose which role they would like to select. But the Business Central, the homepage, the menu is a little more tailored to specific to the roles. Let's say the sales order processor, I have the sales related, and of course, the purchasing and inventory is also a related area for the sales. And then also the shortcut menus are sales orders, items, customers, all related to sales. So that's a difference between GP and Business Central homepage. So the menu and the shortcuts are specific to each roles. In Business Central, you can get to screens that you want to get to by using, besides using the menu, you can use the global search and get to where you want to open. So for example, I want to open a vendor master. I can type in vendor. And you can select from the search result. And if this is a screen that you're often using, you can also bookmark from the search, or once you open the screen, there is a bookmark icon where you can bookmark the screen. And once you bookmark, this screen is now added to your homepage shortcut. So from this on, I don't need to search. I just go to the shortcut menu and click to open. Business Central also provides the activity and module-based menu from the Explore. So if you're used to using, I know the GP, you can go to like transactions or setup and go under each modules and you can select the activities. So the menu is still available, but most of our users seem to be comfortable using the search function once they get used to using Business Central. So that's some of the difference in the homepage between GP and Business Central. And another thing that I would like to highlight is the action queues. So here is, you see tiles. These are called tiles, but these action queues are also set by roles. And each tile gives you a reminder alert functions. With my current sales order processor role, I can see how many quotes are open, how many orders are open, and if there are any orders that are ready to be shipped, or the shipment date is set to either today or forward, then I see the reminder, oh, okay, I need to work on this sales order and process shipment. And once you see the alert or a reminder, you can just click the tile and see the list of orders to be processed. You can just get onto it right away. So these are the action queues that can give you a little bit of a reminder function. And also BC homepage provides some built-in dashboards, like the trailing sales orders, the sales orders per month. And this is similar to GP. You can set some customers as your my customers, and you can kind of keep track of like what's the current receivable balances. Also, you can do the items to set some important items to your homepage, and then you can get to the item master quickly. And also, you can hook up the Power BI into Business Central homepage. By utilizing the Dynamics Cloud solution, the collaboration with other Microsoft products are made much easier than previous on-premise solutions, and the Power BI connector is part of it. So it has more seamless connections between Business Cloud solution, the Dynamics 365, and any other Microsoft product that are offered in cloud-based. So this is part of the advantage of using the cloud solution. Okay, let's move on to the actual data processing. Like I showed you the GP screenshot of a customer master, I'm using a customer master as an example. So in Business Central, to get to a certain data screen, such as customer master, you will see the list of customers first, and then you can select a certain customer you need to work on. And in Business Central, the search function is a little more robust. I know with the GP, I think some of you experienced with GP lookup, not the most, not the best search function, especially if you have a large volume of data, like a lot of customers, a lot of items. It could end up loading up a little bit slow, searching certain fields, like you need to switch fields to search. And in Business Central, there is a search box on top of any list. And this is a global search within the screen, or within the fields that are on display. So if I say art in the search box, it pops right up the customer name that includes art. And you can search even contact name or phone number. If you know the customer number, of course, you can search by the customer number. But you can search by anything that's on the display. So this search function makes it a little bit easier to look for a certain data that you're looking for. Okay, and most of the master data or transaction data screen or transaction data list screen comes with a fact box on the right-hand side. If it is limiting the screen space, you can of course hide or show anytime you want to see. But this fact box gives you some information about the data you select if it's on the list screen. So in this customer master, you can see what is the ongoing quotes, sales orders, or you can also jump to the previous historical shipments on invoices. And also you can see the quick statistics of this customer, say the current receivable balance, what is the outstanding sales orders, stuff like that. And if you click the number that's in blue font, that is a link field. So if you see the current balance, and if you want to see if there are any overdue invoices or anything, you can just simply click, and it'll give you the details of the historical posted sales invoices or any receivable transactions. So navigating through one like a master data, or even from sales orders or any transaction data, navigating to any related data is made easy in Business Central. Okay, and from the ribbon, this is very similar to like Excel or Outlook. It's called ribbon. You can also open the related screens to the customer. For example, this customer, if you have any contacts under this customer, you can get to it from a customer master. And if you have any price list set up for certain items for this customer, you can open it from the customer master, going to prices. So it is the navigation is also made a little bit simple. Let me open the actual customer master. In Business Central, any screens are customizable per user base, and the customization of each screen is called personalized. You can change the display by adding, hiding, or moving fields around. Using ERP solution, there are numbers of fields that you may not use ever. There are so many fields that are available, but it's default. So let's say in GP, even if you don't use certain fields, it's there on the screen. In BC, you can hide those unnecessary fields, so you can show only important fields to be looked at and to be entered in. The personalization is pretty simple. You can just go to personalize and select some of the data. Okay, I don't use this field. You can go to simply remove. This will remove from the screen, but will not remove from the data. So if one user uses this field, but not the other user, in that case, the other user can remove from their screen, but the earlier user will still see that data and the field on the screen. So this is a user base, and each user can change their display to what they need. Okay. The earlier the list screen, this can also be changed. Let me look at the customer ledger entries. So the customer ledger entry is all the historical receivable transactions. This is very similar to receivable transactions that you use in GP Smart List. So this will give you all the entries that you put in as receivable transactions. So the list screen of transactions is very similar to Smart List. And in this customer ledger entries, for example, I can personalize. And like the entry screen of the customer master, I can remove certain fields. Say I don't need a currency code, I can remove it. And also, if I want to add more fields, there are a number of fields that are available but not shown by default. When you find a field, you can simply drag and drop where you want to see the field. And you can also drag and drop the existing field and move around where you want things to be. So the personalization is also available to the list screen. And another highlight of this list screen is that besides using the search box up here, you can also filter the list of entries using this filter pane. And the filter pane add as many search criteria as you need to. It's similar to GP Smart List, but Smart List has a limited number of search criteria, up to 4, I believe. But in BC, you can add as many filters as you need to, like if you want to set a filter with the posting date, document type, or customer number, specific fields. And once you have a filtered list, you can also save it with, you can give it a name and save it as a favorite, just like Smart List and GP. So you don't need to add the filter every single time you open this the list, and you will be seeing all the saved list under the views. So saving the filter template is also available. And another thing I would like to mention is from the transactions history. I'm at the customer ledger, the receivable entries. In GP, to drill down, you will need to start from general ledger and drill down to the sub ledger. But in Business Central, you can do either way. You can drill up from sub ledger to GL, or you can drill down from GL, general ledger, down to the sub ledger by going to find entries, and you can find all the related entries. So since I'm on the customer ledger, the receivable entries, if I select the payments, you can also look at the bank transactions, since the customer payments is also related to bank entries. So, and this is a sales invoice. So you can look at the actual invoice, you can see what items are being sold, and you can also look at the actual detail of the GL account distribution. So the drill down function is this find entries in Business Central. There are many features to be highlighted, but unfortunately, with the limited time today, I will not be showing them all. Another thing, one last thing that I would like to mention during the demo today is that the Business Central has a little more enhanced functionality for profit center, cost center idea of financial or sales data analysis. GP uses the GL account segment. So you can analyze some of your financial data, for example, by departments or divisions, product type of customer types. In Business Central, the function is called dimensions. You can set profit centers, cost centers separate from the GL account, and it is made a little more easier to set default, like a certain dimension default by customers instead of just items. And analyzing your data, financial, sales, and inventory data by those dimensions, like divisions or departments, is made a little more flexible and easier in Business Central. That's all I have for today's demo, and I hope I was able to showcase some of the user-friendly features in Business Central. Thank you very much for attending today's webinar. I would like to now give it back to Andrew.
Perfect. Thank you, June, for the very informative demo. Of course, as you highlighted some of BC's out-of-box functionality. That concludes our second option for you today, which is to migrate to Business Central or Dynamics 365. This is a perfect transition into the final option that I'd like to share with you today, which is an extension of our second option, really, which is to leverage Microsoft AppSource in tandem with Business Central. Microsoft AppSource is it's a centralized online marketplace for businesses and organizations to discover, try, and acquire various cloud-based applications and extensions for Microsoft products, such as Dynamics 365. As Dynamics 365 is now the focus of many of these third-party solution vendors, AppSource provides a very diverse catalog of applications and industry-specific software that can be used to enhance the capabilities of Dynamics 365 Business Central. Of course, utilizing these third-party tools isn't mandatory, given BC's robust out-of-box capabilities, which June highlighted. But as your business grows, I should say, and the requirements perhaps change, it's very reassuring to know that you're supported by one of the largest collections of third-party tools available. To give you a real-world example, although Microsoft does have a data migration tool that's very useful in migrating GP data to Business Central, it's not an entirely hands-off process. Calsoft's team must first adjust the structure of this data to properly map it to the migration tool before we're able to move it into BC. Also, this tool is still under construction by Microsoft, so depending on the complexity of this data, it can potentially be a labor-intensive process, especially when we consider bringing in previous year's historical data. Some GP users are content with migrating a basic snapshot of historical data to the new system, but that doesn't always work for every business. And in specific cases, we work with customers that require real-time access to the full set of historical data. To solve this requirement, E1 Solutions, which is a partner of Calsoft, offer an app on AppSource called PopDoc that acts as a connector between GP and Business Central. This application can be used to visualize your GP data seamlessly right within the interface of Dynamics 365 Business Central. And this is all while keeping your historical data in GP right where it is. This service is ideal for businesses that require access to the full set of data, but do not want to actually migrate this data set into BC. This application not only has the potential to save on costs during the migration process, but also provides users with enhanced cross-reporting capabilities. With the topic of cost in mind, I'd like to move forward and share with you some information regarding the pricing structure of BC, as well as a promotional offer that your business likely qualifies for. This way, we'll be able to make an apples-to-apples comparison between GP and BC towards the end of our session today. Although staying on GP is certainly still a viable option, as we covered, Business Central does offer an enticing value proposition, especially when it comes to licensing. Instead of purchasing licenses outright and having an annual enhancement fee, as you do with GP, Business Central Cloud licenses are offered on a subscription basis with different pricing tiers based on the type of user license and the level of functionality that's required. This subscription model allows businesses to scale their licensing needs up or down as the requirements change, while also providing cost flexibility along the way. Microsoft offers three main types of licenses that are available for Business Central. Depending on your specific business requirements, companies may select between essential user licenses, which are $70 per user per month, or premium user licenses, which are $100 per user per month. Premium user licenses provide full access to all of the available modules within Business Central. This includes financial management, customer relationship management, project management, supply chain management, warehouse management, service order management, and finally, the manufacturing module. Essential user licenses include the same functionality as premium user licenses, but are tailored towards businesses that don't require access to the service order management or manufacturing modules of BC. Whether your business requires essential or premium user licenses, team member licenses, which are $8 per user per month, are also available. These limited functionality licenses are ideal for users that require minimal access to perhaps view some data in the ERP or perform approvals, but don't necessarily require full system access. As we do with any migration project that we take on, Calsoft's team will, of course, assist you to find the right balance of licenses for your business needs. In Microsoft's efforts to incentivize users to make the switch to BC, it has released a promotional discount that you likely qualify for if you're using GP today. They're calling this promotion the Bridge to the Cloud 2 promotion, as it's the second release of the Bridge to the Cloud promotion. This promotion offers a very attractive 40% discount to the BC licensing prices that we just covered, which are fixed for 3 years. So with a deal that good, it inevitably begs the question, what's the catch? Well, there isn't really much of a catch. To qualify for this promotion, customers must first be current on their Dynamics GP enhancement plan. And secondly, customers must purchase a number of Dynamics 365 licenses that hold an annual value greater than or equal to the current annual enhancement plan with GP. To provide you with a quick example, let's say that your GP enhancement plan costs $4,800. This breaks down to a monthly cost of around $400. Which means that to qualify for the promotion, your monthly Business Central licensing fee must be greater than or equal to $400. I know it can be a bit tricky to navigate, so if you'd like to sit down and discuss your specific business eligibility for this promotion, please contact our team after the webinar concludes, and we'd be more than happy to provide you with a consultation. If your business is seriously considering making the switch to Dynamics 365, this is definitely a promotion that you don't want to miss. To assist you in handling the should I stay or should I go question surrounding Dynamics GP, I've created a very simple chart that compares the rough figures for the total cost of ownership over the next 5 years. Important to note is that this diagram does include the implementation labor that would be associated with the Business Central migration project. When considering GP, this figure would include physical hardware updates and related software to get GP onto the modern lifecycle, including physical hardware maintenance, the now mandatory modern lifecycle yearly upgrade, and the annual enhancement fee. Dynamics GP will cost nearly $90,000 more than Business Central over the span of a 5-year period. If your business qualifies for the Bridge to the Cloud promotion, you can expect roughly an additional $10,000 or so in savings over this time when switching to BC. Although the cost savings are attractive, we don't want you to feel as if you're being forced to migrate to BC. As I mentioned previously, we're going to continue supporting our ecosystem of GP customers for as long as we possibly can, because at the end of the day, it's ultimately the customer's choice to decide when the appropriate time to migrate is. I hope that through the material that we covered during today's presentation, you're able to now make an informed business decision for your business moving forward. If you think that your business is ready to begin the discussion regarding migrating to the cloud, please let us know and we'd be more than happy to help. But at this point in time, I'd like to pass the microphone back to Kylan as we open up the floor for our Q&A session.
Thank you, Andrew. We do have some questions that have been submitted by the audience. And as a reminder, if you have any questions that you have not yet submitted, please enter it in the Q&A chat box, and we'll seek to get through as many questions as time allows. So the first question here is, how long does a migration process take from GP to BC on average? Andrew?
That's a great question. Thanks. So it's very dependent on the individual business. So this includes both the industry that you're operating in, the amount of users that would be transacting within the ERP, as well as really your business type. So that's really where we'd step in and have a sit-down consultation with you to kind of framework the timeline for you. But I can say on average, typically anywhere from 3 to 6 months is a general ballpark for a standard implementation of BC.
Great, thank you. I have a second question, and that is, can Calsoft and BC support Mexico localized functions?
Perfect. June, would you like to take that question?
Sure. I actually need to check with our team for that.
Oh, perfect. No problem at
Sorry.
all. Yeah, we would be happy to follow up with any questions today that
Yeah.
maybe we don't have a chance to cover via email. We'd love to reach out to you and answer that.
Yes, and although I'm part of the sales team, I'm not technical. My hunch is yes. I do think we have several customers in Mexico, so I do believe that Microsoft does support that. But yes,
Yeah.
please get in touch with us afterwards. Yeah, that's a great one. Can PopDoc connect to GP on-prem, or will GP data need to be hosted in Azure?
Perfect. So it can connect to GP on-prem, and I believe that would possibly be the most cost-effective option. But that being said, if you'd like to free up that space in your office's IT infrastructure, there is the possibility to move that data into an Azure data lake and connect to it that way. So it's quite flexible in that regard.
Great. Another question is, this one's a little technical, so I'll ask June, can BC import APAR data by XML file, even with on-prem or cloud-based?
Yes. Either on-premise or cloud-based. Yes. We do have customers both on-premise and cloud versions that we developed integration using the XML file. So yes, that is possible.
I have another question here. How much does CloudShift plus PopDoc cost?
That's a perfect question. So that is really where we'd love to have a sit-down conversation with your business. PopDoc does also run on a subscription service. So depending on the number of connections or potentially the number of users, that's when we would bring in a PopDoc representative into one of our discussions to lay out the framework and ultimately build a quotation for you.
And then related to that, there's another question. Do we need to keep the GP server active while using PopDoc?
I'd love to confirm that with one of PopDoc's representatives, but I'm under the impression that you do not need to be, if I'm understanding the question correctly, you do not need to be current on your annual enhancement plan for that connector to work. You would just need to spin up the server, turn it on, and that connection would be able to be made.
So I have two more questions here. One is, does BC have a CRM function, or is that an additional cost module?
It does, yes. June, did you want to talk a little bit towards the functionality of the CRM module in BC?
Sure. It is called Relationship Management module that has a basic CRM functionality. Microsoft also offers a full function of CRM, which is Dynamics 365 sales. But BC does offer a basic functionality just out of the box.
Also, I have a quick confirmation from our team that we are local, that Dynamics 365 is localized in Mexico. I'm putting that in the chat for the person who's interested in that. Thank you for asking that question. And then we have a couple extra questions. but so we can only answer one more, and that in this time. And if we didn't get to your question, please follow up with us after the webinar. But the question is, can we customize BC such as adding on features in the transaction or bank transaction entry?
Yes, we do offer customization development with implementation or a support. So yes, it is customizable. If you need an extended feature, any enhancement, yes, we are more than happy to help.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Andrew and June. Thank you so much to everybody for attending. I'm sorry that we weren't able to get to everybody's questions, but we would love to follow up with you afterwards. And we do have a record of those. And if you have extra questions that you weren't able to get to, please reach out. Thank you so much. We'll end the webinar. And like I said, there's a survey afterwards, so please fill that out so we can best help you. But we hope that this seminar was helpful in getting all the information you need to make an informed decision about the state of GP in your business and how you best want to have your business future. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.